So I am excited to be here today. I love being in my office. Shay even helped me decorate a little bit. And this mom is made by my mother, who passed on, and it means so much to me. So I'm glad to be in this setting right now. I'm also excited to make this video because I get to work with State Farm today. I'm passionate about a lot of things in life. Having the right insurance and having the right security blanket is definitely one of them. Because I've had some experiences that I didn't have that in place, and it was awful. If you're first starting out, if you're going to college, or you're just going off on your own, or if you're newlyweds, or if you're in a new relationship and you're trying to get on the same page with this kind of stuff, then I want to give you some advice. And some of it is advice that I learned because I had great parents and we, met some amazing people along the way that taught us. Some of it I had to learn the hard way. So when Shay and I were first starting out, there were some things that we didn't always know. For instance, going into debt. When we first got married, we got some furniture, we bought some investment properties that we were hoping that would make us money, which eventually they did, but in the beginning they were very hard for us and made us struggle a lot. My first piece of advice is don't go into unnecessary debt right away. You don't need to. You don't need brand new furniture. You don't need to buy big investments that are going to possibly put your family in the poorhouse because you can't pay for them right now. I understand that some of you get student loans, and that's okay, and it's impossible to buy a house without going into debt, but do it wisely and do it with the least amount of interest and the least amount of debt possible, and with the goal in mind of how you were going to pay it off and actually work towards that goal every single day. Where was I in the story? So Shay and I first getting married, first starting out, saving money. That's the second piece of advice. Even if you feel like you're good at saving money, set a specific amount every month, because it's easy to let that money just go because you paid this bill and that bill, and then you went grocery shopping and all this stuff gets paid for, but you didn't save any for you at the end of the month. It doesn't really have to be a lot. I would suggest no less than 10%. You can always do more. If you don't do that, you're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck, and that's not really the best way to live. The third piece of advice I want to give you is to get on a budget. It's really difficult. I had a really hard time getting on a budget at first, and I still struggle with it because budgets change, there's always different things coming in the mix. For couples, I feel like this one is like a must. It is one of the #1 causes of divorce. Financial fights and financial problems. And being on a budget doesn't mean that you can't have the things that you want. You just have to, say it out loud every month, like, okay, you get this much amount to do whatever you want with, and you get this amount to do whatever you want with. You also have to sacrifice a little bit. If you're blowing everything by yourself on shopping every month, then of course that's going to cause a rift in your family, and it's not going to help you build your savings or reach your goals. Living within your means is not easy, but you can do it, and that will only help you build up your finances so that you can have more in the future. The last major piece of advice I would give you guys is to protect yourselves and protect your investments. Shay and I learned the hard way that insurance is really important. We didn't have the proper insurance on one of our investments, and we ended up having a major catastrophe and having to fork out a lot of money. That was really devastating for us back then because we didn't have very much, and anything that we were getting, we didn't even have a savings because we had so much going out. Save yourself that and get the proper insurances. I know that you have to pay money to get insurance, but in the long run, it saves you a lot of heartache and you'll be protected. And that's why I was happy to work with State Farm, because figuring out the best plan for you and your family can seem really daunting. But a State Farm agent can help guide you through and help you make choices that you feel confident about. And that's what it's about, is feeling safe and confident and knowing that if something happens, you're okay and your family's gonna be okay. Health insurance, car insurance, life insurance, I like them all. Definitely look into that if you haven't already. So set goals for yourself, save money, get on a budget, don't go into unnecessary debt, and make sure that you're protected. Hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of advice so when you're starting out, you don't have to go through many of the pains that I had. And I really thank my family, my mom and dad, for giving me a strong foundation, and you guys. We get a lot of support from you guys, and I want to thank you for that. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what other topics you guys would like me to cover, and I'll see you next time.